Yes, that's it. I was born in Setúbal, which is a fish port in Portugal, and I used to sing in the local classical and religious choir. And afterwards, I moved to Paris to study, and actually there started to gravitate towards more the music world, and found myself being offered a few gigs at a jazz club called the Sunset, and that's where Jaco Pastorius came. I was playing there for 3 nights. He came for the 3 nights in a row, and it was just an amazing experience. It was incredible, incredible man. Yes, absolutely. So I sang with him on stage for the 3 nights, and afterwards we would have a chat at the bar. The last night he was there, he was totally out of his mind, I must say, and well, which is really a shame, because he was such a genius, and he died from, at a very, very young age, and he died of a very violent death. And yeah, and we were trying to have a chat, but still, it was quite difficult. He was in a world of his own. It's yeah, but it was amazing. I loved it. Absolutely, because I mean, just I've got that image in my mind. I was playing, and then I see Jaco Pastorius coming towards me, and grabbing the bass from my bass player. And my bass player, everybody was gobsmacked. Yes, when I was in France, I was already, singing professionally, and there was this band called Heaven 17 who was recording a music for a film, and actually I went there to demonstrate to the classically trained singer how to sing sort of a classical piece a little bit more soully and soulfully. And so that was my first experience with Martin Teddy Weber. And afterwards he invited me to sing on the BEF compilation in London, the British Electric Foundation. So that was my reason to move to England, really. Well, I was based in London. I've always been based in London. So, but my first house, well, my first flat was in Queen's Park. And actually I stayed there all throughout Queen's Park, Willesden, but Queen's Park, always, yeah. Well, as far as the concept of the band is concerned, especially for my last album, actually I'm the only one not based in the UK. All the rest of yes, all the rest of the band are British. The band is made of, well, there are the musicians that recorded the album, and one of them is Graham Harvey, who's produced the album. Also, the other ones playing on the album, it's like an all-star dream team. You have Ian Thomas on drums, Lawrence Cottle on bass, John Paricelli on guitar, Thomas Diwani on percussion, and on flute Gareth Loughrane, and Martin Shaw on flugelhorn, and also Femi Temour, who came to do a solo and play on one song. So they're all London based, they're all amazing. And on stage we'll be having, on drums, we'll be having Richard Bailey from Incognito. On bass, Julian Crampton. On guitar, the incredible Jim Mullen, aren't I lucky? And Graham, obviously, who is MDing and who will be playing all the keyboards. So he'll be with me on stage too. Now, the part that we did in Portugal and the part that is based outside the UK is all the strings, and it was like a 22 string orchestra that we used. It's from the National Opera from Portugal, and we recorded it here under, a master conductor called Pedro Amaral. I think that what kick-started the album was the duet with Leon Ware. So singing this song with that amazing Afro-American singer, songwriter, musician extraordinaire since at least 6 decades, it's amazing. So that definitely motivated me to write more, to do more. And so after that duet, We thought about the songs. We had already a few songs that I had done with a friend of mine here in Portugal, Luís Barrigas. And then we contacted Graham Harvey because we loved, you know, what he does. He's MD for Stacey Can too, and we love his sound, the way he plays. And he also had a few songs he wanted to co-write with me. So we put all of that in common. And basically the gel all throughout the album was precisely to have, you know, a song-based album. So with each song with a beginning, a middle, and end, all arranged, and making it sound soully, jazzy, and with a symphonic, you know, with strings. At the time we thought, oh, we're going to do it sort of live in studio, just of us all together, and then we'll add on some strings. But we had no idea at the time that actually we'd be having like a real 22 string orchestra, you know. Also because of the financing point of view, you know, it was already quite heavy this way because, as you mentioned, these are incredible musicians. So it was already quite a logistical thing, you know, to put together, quite heavy. And yes, so, but we did that. So we did the rhythm sections. We thought it sounded great. We were so happy with them. We did them at Clown's Pocket with Derek Nash in London. And he's an amazing recording sound engineer. He did it all on his own. Everybody was playing together and it all came beautifully. It was like, you know, a dream couple of days. Afterwards, so we started off with 4 tunes, then afterwards we did like a crowdfunding, and we thought that we could have 8 tunes instead of 4, you know, growing, you know. And so after that we managed to get financing to finish off like another 4 rhythm sections, and then we thought, why not do it big and go like the full shebang and use the string orchestra, the real one. So, you know, all of a sudden then we had another 30 people to pay, but you know, so we really broke, but you know, we're really happy and really proud of this amazing, you know, each time we do a record, it's like a new experience. And especially this time, because there was no sampling involved. It was all a labor of love from everybody, from the producers to the musicians to the mixing, which was Richard Bull. He did a brilliant job too. To the person who did the graphics, the cover. Everything is a labor of love, and everything uses each person's artistry at its best, I find, you know, or at its best to suit my music. So there you go. I'm really proud of my new baby.